The Fantastic Four First Steps box office launch came in at an estimated $57 million when combining previews and opening day, which was both more and less than Superman at the same point. Let me explain. On Thursday, Fantastic Four drew 24.4 million in previews, so even though the movie took over multiplexes starting at 2 p.m., the official release date was still Friday, July 25th. I know it seems ridiculous that nearly a full day of showtimes is considered previews when it's effectively the opening day or night, but Superman and nearly every big movie gets this same treatment, but I digress. As a matter of objective reporting, I still count that 24.4 million as box office generated on Thursday. So Fantastic Four was number one on Thursday, and its 24.4 million preview gross was the highest of the year so far, topping Superman. Superman is listed as 19.7 million here, but it had a separate preview night of 2.8 million before that for an overall preview total of 22.5 million. I know, I wish this preview business was less complex so we could have cleaner apples to apples comparisons, but it is what it is. Okay, so Fantastic Four got a win on previews, but its actual opening day was less than Superman's. Fantastic Four pulled in an estimated 32.6 million on Friday, whereas Superman scored 33.6 million, 1 million more. That means Fantastic Four had the fourth biggest opening day of 2025, and not the second biggest, as you may have seen reported elsewhere. A Minecraft movie and Lilo and Stitch had way bigger opening days of 46.6 million and 41.4 million respectively. But back to the comparison with Superman. Through Friday, Fantastic Four has a 57 million total, while Supes had a 56.1 million total. But since Fantastic Four had the smaller opening day, it will also most likely have the smaller opening weekend, even with an optimistic projection of how Saturday and Sunday will play out. Still, the total grosses of the two will be remarkably close through Sunday. I must stress that this report is for domestic box office only. Worldwide through Friday, by the way, Fantastic Four appears to have a greater edge over Superman, but we'll have a clearer picture later. But here's the upshot so far. Through Friday, Fantastic Four's global total was an estimated 106.2 million versus 96.5 million for Superman at the same point. Neither picture is igniting the international market, but Superman crossed the $200 million mark overall internationally on Friday, giving it a worldwide total, that is domestic plus international, of a 472.4 million, and it should pass 500 million on Sunday. Now, back to domestic, and this ain't the first rodeo for the Fantastic Four, so let's compare its opening day to its predecessors. In dollars, the new Fantastic Four had the biggest opening day of the franchise, unseating Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which made $22 million on its opening day in 2007. And a side note here, the new F4's total gross is already higher than the final total of Fanforstic from 2015. Anyway, there's been a lot of ticket price inflation since those first couple of Fantastic Four pictures were released, so let's adjust for that ticket price inflation. And we find that the 2005 Fantastic Four sold the most tickets of the franchise on opening day, followed by Rise of the Silver Surfer. That's right, the new Fantastic Four with its own version of Silver Surfer sold fewer tickets than the last Silver Surfer on opening day. So new F4 ranks third for the franchise, adjusted for ticket price inflation. But again, that is just for opening day. Those first couple of Fantastic Four movies would equal about $100 million for their opening weekends adjusted, and that's a number that the new Fantastic Four could still pull off this weekend, so stay tuned. Now, as for Superman, well, it took a beating from losing its premium screens to Fantastic Four, and certainly the tonal and demographic similarities between the movies had to be a bit of a blow as well. So Supes was down 57% from last Friday to 7.1 million. That was its third Friday, and you may be wondering, how does Superman's third Friday compare to Man of Steel's third Friday? Well, It was more in terms of dollars, but the drop was steeper. Adjusted for ticket price inflation, though, Man of Steel was still bigger for both the Friday gross and the total gross, but in general, Superman has been shrinking the gap. Versus The Batman, though, Superman's third Friday was notably smaller, but Superman hopes to stabilize after this initial hit from Fantastic Four and bank on beefy summer weekdays to beat The Batman's final gross of about $369 million. Among other similar movies, Superman also fell harder than Spider-Man Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Deadpool and Wolverine from last summer. Now, with a $271.7 million total, Superman has surpassed How to Train Your Dragon to be the fifth biggest movie of 2025. And by the time this video is posted, Superman will have flown past Sinners to rank fourth. Jurassic World Rebirth already jumped ahead of Sinners, and that Dino pick is on track to cross 300 million on Sunday. Well, that's a wrap for now, but the battle between the Fantastic Four and Superman will continue to be tracked here at Box Office Revival. So be sure to like this video if you liked it, tell us which movie you think will win in the comments, and subscribe to the channel, especially if you want to support objective reporting on the box office. This has been Brandon Gray, creator of Box Office Mojo. Thank you for watching.